Welcome to the Matthews Report. I'm Sean Matthews. In my opinion, one of the biggest issues in America today is how bad our water is. Most people have some idea that the water is not good, but they don't know how bad it is. They don't know why it's so bad and what it's doing to them, and they don't know what they can even do to protect themselves. Today on the Matthews Report, I'm going to cover all three items, and if you watch this entire report, you and your family will be healthier and safer for it. I'm going to cite everything I talk about in the description so you can check all this for yourself as well.
I went back to NBC. We had all these fact checkers. It was all true. We found out all this stuff he was saying was true. And here I am across from you, Harvard-educated Johns Hopkins attending physician saying, yeah, fluoride, just like Alex Jones was saying, not good. It's crazy.
Yeah. Fluoride is a major issue. Fluoride is a toxic chemical that is put into our public water supply.
A federal judge in California has ordered the Environmental Protection Agency to address the potential impacts of fluoride in drinking water because high levels could affect children's IQ levels.
Fluoride is a poison. If a fluoride truck crashes on the highway, they have to clear the highway for miles around, and people come in Tyvek suits and respirators and gloves to do the cleanup.
Please subscribe and turn on notifications for the Matthews Report. I promise to help you stay informed, entertained, and healthy. Now, back to the report. We started putting fluoride in our water in 1950. We're one of the only countries who does it. Most of the world does not put fluoride or any chemicals into their water. And one of the reasons is when you put these chemicals into the public water supply, there's no way to control how much of it gets into one dose. Okay, so fluoride is a toxic chemical. It goes into the water and there's no way to regulate how much an average person gets when they go to the sink to fill up a cup of water. So prior to 1950, it was universal consensus that fluoride is not good. It causes cancer. It's a toxic chemical. Then all of a sudden in 1950, the U.S. Public Health Service endorses putting fluoride in the public water supply.
It's a toxic byproduct of certain chemical process and oil industry process. And for many years, those industries, it was costing them thousands of dollars per drum to get rid of them. And then they came up with the idea, why don't we put it in the water supply? And they did that, and it causes cancers. Of course, it causes your bones to deteriorate, and it causes severe IQ loss.
Fluoride is dangerous for everybody, but it's particularly dangerous for children. Our own NIH, the National Toxicology Program at the NIH, did a study that confirmed that there's an inverse relationship between exposure to fluoride and children's IQ. So the study confirmed that exposure to fluoride goes up, children's IQs go down. There's a direct inverse relationship. This is a study that they concluded and put out in 2022 quietly, but they didn't put it out publicly until 2023 when they got pressure from Congress. In their own words, inverse relationship between exposure to fluoride and children's IQs right here. Right around the same time that this report came out, the CDC then came out and said, we're cutting our recommended dose of fluoride in half for water and for dental purposes. We're cutting it in half. Now, there shouldn't be any there in the first place, but now you see them starting to hedge their bets as this is all now finally coming out into the light. They tell us that fluoride is good for your teeth and we need it for dental purposes, but yet there's a warning on the toothpaste label about how dangerous the fluoride is. Here's an Ivy League chemistry professor, Dr. Paul Connett, talking about the toothpaste scam.
The FDA that has done nothing, the Food and Drug Administration has done nothing to regulate fluoridation or test fluoride for ingestion, has a warning on the back of the tube of toothpaste. It says only use a pea-sized amount. If you accidentally swallow more than that, get medical attention or contact a poison control center. Well, somebody's worked out that a pea-sized amount of fluoridated toothpaste contains 1/4 milligram of fluoride, which you would get in 1 glass of water.
One other danger in the water among many that you need to be aware of is something called PFAS, P-F-A-S. It's a highly toxic compound that comes from Teflon, which is in thousands of commercial and household products and has been since the 1940s. And the fact that it doesn't break down naturally in the environment and the fact that the chemical companies who made it have not disposed of it properly for years and have covered it up for years has caused it to get into the water supply in much of the country. Studies have shown it causes cancer, it damages your reproductive system, it causes all sorts of issues, and the more scientists learn about PFAS, the worse it gets.
More than half of Americans could be drinking tap water that's tainted with a radioactive element. A new report from the nonprofit Environmental Working Group finds more than 170 million people are exposed to radium in their drinking water.
Scientists with the Environmental Working Group in Washington have detected some amount of PFAS in groundwater or drinking water across 49 states.
if the factory that makes the chemical does not dispose of its waste properly, it's likely getting into your bloodstream anyway.
Okay, now that I've told you about some of the problems with the water, and believe me, that's just some of them. I just picked two off the top, PFAS and fluoride. There's many, many, many more issues. I could be here all day. But now that I've told you some of the problems, I want to give you some solutions to protect you and your family. Check the water supply in your area. There's a nonprofit called the Environmental Working Group, and they have some good resources on food and water. And one of the things they offer is a tap water database where you can go to their site, and I'll put the site in the description. You can go to their site, type in your area, type in your zip code, and they'll give you a list of all the contaminants that are in the tap water in your area. There's also another site called tapwaterreport.org. If you want to cross-reference between the two, you can go on there and see what you're up against. Get yourself a great water filter. The EWG site also has research on water filters. I've done the research for you. The best purification method is reverse osmosis. That method gets the most contaminants out of the water from all the research I've done. And the best filter on the market for the best price right now is the AquaTrue water filter. There's a link to it in the description. If you use that link, it'll help the show. It's a highly recommended filter by lots of functional medicine doctors and people who are really into this stuff. The AquaTrue water filter, I highly recommend it. Check out the link. Help my show as well. If you're just using the filter that's on the refrigerator of your home or apartment, or if you're using a Brita pitcher filter, unfortunately, none of those are good enough. You need to get a filter that's actually doing the reverse osmosis process. Once you get a good filter and you taste the difference, you'll never go back. Bottled water is not totally ideal because of the plastic, but if you get stuck drinking bottled water, I'd recommend distilled or purified, again, because of the reverse osmosis method. With the spring water, you're just not exactly sure what you're going to get still. Filtering your drinking water with a great filter would be number one. The next most important would be filtering your shower water, the water you bathe in. These toxins and chemicals still get into your body through your pores when you take a shower. I've got a link in the description to a great shower head filter that removes chemicals from the water and keeps you safe when you're showering as well. If I've convinced you on the fluoride, then I would stop using the toothpaste with the fluoride in it as well. If you go to a grocery store or pharmacy to get your toothpaste, Burt's Bees is the one that probably has the most natural toothpaste that does not have fluoride in it. I think that's a good recommendation. If you have children, don't let them drink from the water fountain at the school. That stuff is disgusting. Send them in with a nice big stainless steel canteen filled with purified water. Keep their IQs up. Keep them smart. Let people know. This really is not a divisive issue. Everybody wants to be healthy. Everybody wants clean food and clean water. This is something that we can get everybody on board with. Use the information I've given you in this report. You'll never lose an argument to somebody trying to tell you that fluoride is good in the water or there's not crap in the water. Everybody knows it subconsciously. They just need the information. Let your friends, your family, your coworkers, your neighbors know. Please don't drink the water. Take the necessary steps. Protect yourself and protect your family. Thank you for watching the entire Matthews Report. Please subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll continue to bring you great content. I appreciate every single one of you so much who watches these reports. Have a great day. See you again soon.